bersama pada menikmati Idul seperti kami bawa pertiga. Nama saya Rana Umer.
Nama saya Muhammad Yusuf साहब.
nama saya Desi Reaction
आज एक और वीडियो हाजिर हुए हैं। इस वीडियो में है I visit Indonesia to watch a new sport video created by StuntPegg. Mantap sangat keren dan hebat dan bagus. इन दोस्तों को ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी इस वीडियो को लाइक करना, शेयर करना, कमेंट्स करना, इसके साथ चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना। वीडियो के आखिर में हम आपके साथ अपनी हरकत करेंगे, उस वक्त तक हमारे साथ रहें। लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड।
Hello, I am at the MotoGP. Do you know, I know very little about the MotoGP. This is the Indonesian GP, so this is some way to begin. I've got absolutely zero knowledge. Well, no, that's a total lie. I know that there's 27 laps. Do you know how many laps?
How many laps?
Laps, yeah.
30.
27. I'm a MotoGP expert. Who do you think you're pointing at? Off we go. Alright, so with my recently acquired MotoGP information, I can give you all that you need to know ahead of the race. So MotoGP it's a high risk, high speed event. It's why it's considered one of the most exciting sports on earth. The bikes, they go faster in one line than F1 cars. They just take longer to get to that speed. Oh, someone's left their bike there. But they'll need that for the circuit. So the MotoGP spans across 22 GP weekends across 19 countries, including Indonesia, not Windonesia, if you don't win the MotoGP. Red Bull, a big hitter in the MotoGP world. That's a crossover with F1. Honda is another big name. It's a really difficult sport, and these bikes are custom built to be so fast. What I will tell you for free, you couldn't enter the MotoGP with a bicycle. It's not quick enough.
Holding it or? Okay. Hi, I'm Jack Appleyard and I'm the reporter and lead presenter for MotoGP.
How fast do the bikes go?
So they go, top speed is 360 kilometres an hour, which is 220 miles an hour, faster than Formula One cars, the fastest prototype machines on planet Earth.
So right now we're walking past the pit boxes where people are working on the bikes ahead of the race. It's quite a tense area. When you think about the amount of money and effort and time that goes into these bikes, you want to get it right, you don't want anything to go wrong. And on a hot day like this, it's such a tense environment, you can really feel it in the air. We are now walking at a casual pace through the Mandalika circuit. All that crowd around there. If I wanted to, I could grab their attention. I could just go like, oh, hi, yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna because I'm quite a shy character. This is the side of the MotoGP where the nation that it's in so many nations, the nation that it's in has that opportunity for everyone to come and visit, and you represent that nation on a grand scale. You get people from every corner of the world here, and so it's an opportunity to share your culture with them. And I think that's something that Indonesians take great pride in. They're so proud of where they're from, and they want to share that. And this is a really lovely way of doing it. Oh, there's rapping.
There are around 40 people that are dedicated to just one rider, people that are specifically looking after the tyres, the electronics, You've got mechanics that work on the bike. There's an awful lot that goes into being a MotoGP rider, just to sit on the bike. Then that's only half of the work. They've then got to go out there and do the rest themselves.
Do you know, I feel so hot. My phone's just told me that it needs to cool down. I can't even begin to imagine the temperature of the races and the riders and the bikes. And Marc Marquez has just crashed. Marc Marquez is a huge name in the MotoGP world. October 2019, Marc Marquez clinches his 6th MotoGP title.
Not only one of the best in the world, he was regarded as one of the best in history. He arrived at the sport at a young age and became the youngest ever MotoGP world champion. Would go on to win 6 titles in the space of 7 years and dominated the sport from 2013 to 2019. Not only was he the best in the world, he was easily, before he'd even turned 25, one of the greatest in history.
July 2020, Marquez breaks his right humerus. He undergoes emergency surgery with a titanium plate.
It sent shockwaves because the man that had dominated the sport and had such a control over it suddenly wasn't going to be there anymore. It presented an opportunity for everyone else that they hadn't had.
1 month later, the titanium plate breaks. He requires a second surgery, and by December, due to infection, Marquez requires a 3rd surgery.
The injury not only impacted his life here in the paddock, here on track, but also his everyday life. He couldn't make a cup of tea, he couldn't lift up a coffee mug. He said he was very close to retirement because he just didn't want to go through that anymore.
So why did he?
Because there's never been a rider in MotoGP history, or for me, I don't think there's ever been another sportsman who's been addicted to winning as much as Marc Marquez. His appetite, his desire to win races, to win championships, is the strongest of any rider that I've ever come across.
September 2025, Japanese GP. Who won the title at the Japanese GP? Marc Marquez. His 7th MotoGP title. 100 people in a room. How many of those 100 people would have been able to do what Marc Marquez has done?
0, unless that one is Marc Marquez.
So there are cameras currently zoomed in on the pit box, Marc Marquez's pit box, which would suggest that he's still in there, but on the screen it suggests that he's still racing. It's quite hard to keep up with it because it's such a big circuit. Do you know any information about how he is now?
Currently, right now, yeah, he's. I spoke to the team manager during the race, and there's a suspected fracture of his right collarbone. So when he first sat up in the gravel, I think a lot of us that know Marc's story were alarmed that he went immediately to the right arm, because that was the arm that he broke back in 2020. But fortunately, it seems as though it's an injury that's not associated or linked to that one. He's going to fly back to Madrid tonight for further scans, and we'll see in terms of recovery time.
So that bike's just been involved in a crash, and now they're just taking it back to...
I'm not sure in a crash, but for sure we had some maybe technical problems.
Okay. Does it always have to be, if there's technical difficulties with a bike, the same bike has to go back out? You can't, it's only one bike.
Exactly. Except if there's a flag-to-flag race. Now it's super dry, right?
Yeah.
Now it's super hot. Imagine that right now starts raining. the characteristics of the track has changed, because for sure it will start getting wet. They will need to change it, so they are allowed to come back and change to another bike.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2025 MotoGP Grand Prix, one of the youngest riders,
Subscribe to the channel, link in description box.
magnificent job, guys.
यार अमेजिंग वीडियो थी, और इस बहन ने कमाल की वीडियो बनाई है, और इन्होंने मोटो जीपी का विजिट किया और वहाँ पे बाइक रेस हो रही थी, जो देखकर हमें काफ़ी ज़्यादा अच्छा लगा। यार इंडोनेशिया की ये मोटो जीपी बहुत ही कमाल की है, और डिफरेंट कंट्री से लोग यहाँ आ रहे हैं रेस देखने के लिए, और ये भी रेस देखने के लिए यहाँ पे आई हैं, और देखकर हमें काफ़ी ज़्यादा अच्छा लगा जी।
माशाल्लाह आज ये इसको ये भी कामयाबी ये मिली है। बहना वहाँ गई है, सारा विजिट किया, विजिट करके उसने देखा कि देख सारा टोटली उसने देखा। यहाँ भी मोटरसाइकिल की वो भी गैस लगी हुई थी, वो देख के माशाल्लाह उसको जीत के उसको नाम भी मिला। यार देख के हमने बहुत अच्छा लगा। इंडोनेशिया माशाल्लाह बहुत आगे जा रहे हैं, माशाल्लाह तरक्की बहुत ज़्यादा कर रहे हैं। अल्लाह ताला और तरक्की इनों को हमारे इनों के साथ है।
इंडोनेशिया का मोटो जीपी बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त है, और वो ज़बरदस्त है। उनकी हर चीज़ बहुत, जो भी चीज़ बनाते हैं बहुत ज़बरदस्त और अच्छी चीज़ होती है। अल्लाह ताला कामयाबी है, बहुत तरक्की था हमारी कामयाबी था, हमारी दुआ है अल्लाह ताला को बहुत ज़्यादा कामयाबी दे।
एंजॉय किया, आई होप कि आप लोगों ने भी एंजॉय किया। अगर आपको हमारी आज की वीडियो अच्छी लगी, इस वीडियो को लाइक करना, शेयर करना, कमेंट्स करना, इसके साथ चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना, साथ इंस्टाग्राम और फेसबुक का लिंक भी डिस्क्रिप्शन में मौजूद है, उसको फॉलो करें। तो मिलते हैं इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट वीडियो पे। हर टेक केयर एंड अल्लाह हाफिज़।